Hey guys, and welcome back to the Movie Club Emporium. And hey, guess what? We got now at two new movie reviews in a row. This one, let me tell you how the searching I had to do to find this movie playing anywhere near me. Um, the links I had to go to get you guys my fresh review of the brand new slasher film Clown in a Cornfield. Uh, before before we get into that, remember we are right now pushing so hard for to get us to 50 subscribers. Once we hit that number, we're going to be able to do our live streams not only on our Twitch channel, which we do every single month, but we'll be able to do them here on YouTube as well. So if you are coming across this, welcome. And please join us by clicking the bell. All the YouTube slang we got to throw out. But you're gonna enjoy it. We do these new reviews here every week. Every month we do our live hangouts. This coming up at the end of this month, Nick and I are talking about '90s virtual reality movies, and so it's gonna be a lot of fun. We did vampires last month. But for those of you who are watching this from the channel, welcome back. But I know you guys are here to know what my thoughts are on Clown in the Cornfield. So let me give you a little bit of preamble because I'm really good at this. Um, I remember the book coming out and being like, "Well, that's not for me." That just seems like a dumb kind of book. Very kind of on the nose. And then through TikTok, found the author Adam Caesar. Uh, he talked a lot about classic horror films, talked a lot about physical media, stuff like that. I found him really just gosh darn endearing. And so when the movie was announced, I thought, okay, you know what? I'll pull the trigger. I'm gonna read the book and see if it's even worth it because the movie was on my anticipated list only because of the novel's author. So I thought, well, I'll read the novel and see what I think. And I gotta tell you, I was very pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed uh, that book. In fact, I'm in the middle of the sequel, Friendo Lives, right now, and so I was even more hyped for this movie. And I think that if you have not read the book or seen the movie, the best advice I can give you is please see the movie first because I there's a lot that I'm a little disappointed in with the movie adaptation. Now, this is brought to us by Eli Craig, the filmmaker who made the kind of out of nowhere super fun Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and he's the co-writer of the screenplay. And yeah, so if you don't know, the story follows a young teenage girl named Quinn. Her and her father moved from Philadelphia to BFE Midwest Cornville. Like I'm sure it's like right outside of Gatlin, where all the children of the corn live. And it's a small town that kind of uh, has a problem between a group of teenagers who run this like internet prank uh, Jamie Kennedy experience to really, really just throw my age in your face. um, Prank videos, and some of the local townspeople who don't like it. They don't like the way these young people act. And then one night at a big party in this cornfield, a group of killers wearing uh, these old uh, clown costumes that are the face of the mascot of the old factory that was in town of this corn syrup. And this old clown friendo was in the 30s was the face, the mascot, because we just let terrifying things be the face of our companies way back when, and still kind of do. I'm looking at you in early 2000s Burger King commercials. Um, And so for that instance, it does do, and there are twists and turns as well. Um, One thing about the book, especially as compared to the movie, is when you first meet this group of teens who are going to be kind of like the fodder for the film, uh, when you're given an initial reaction to them, throughout you kind of learn to really kind of care about a lot of them. And so when they become in danger, you really feel that. And for whatever reason, in the movie adaptation, they're very like stock tropes of teenagers. Even the main character, like you, there's so much to her that is left out of like her backstory and her kind of where she's at in her headspace. That is so much more than just oh man, my dad moved me from the big city to the small town. And even with the teens that are there, like they, yes, they run this internet prank show, and they are disrespectful and things go too far sometimes, but they are also not just kind of cliche douchebags as it kind of are portrayed in the movie. Um, I don't want to go into spoilers because I think this is supposed to hit. This is already like out of the theaters around here. Just so you know, it was in the theater here in Oklahoma where I'm at. It was in the theater in the city for a week, and by an hour away. It was for a week and it's gone. And our little town did not get it at all. In fact, our theater still has Minecraft and has carried it over for yet another week. Um, so I don't know how well it's doing. I know it's a Shutter production, so like it's probably gonna go to Shutter soon, and you'll be able to stream it. Um, I will say, as a slasher film, it does have the goods. Like the kills are good. You get all the things you kind of want. You know, kind of this resurgence of the slasher genre with something like this. Thanksgiving, which was actually kind of a welcome surprise to this kind of like long beaten, not really long beaten genre, something that isn't as meta as say the Scream franchise has become, which is fine. Um, in fact, I like that last Scream a lot. But no, it was just the thing is, and I know it's not fair and it's not right, but as blown away by the book being so much more than what I expected, then to watch this kind of adaptation that brings it back down to what your run of the mill average like base character slasher film really kind of sucks. Because the things they change are so weird. Like there's a mid story twist. So there's the big twist of the story, which I won't spoil. There's a big twist about what's going on, uh, which unfortunately the the movie doesn't do as well as of hiding as the book does. Um, Also, uh, so you have a big twist, and then there's a boom surprise, like immediate twist to that. That kind of kicks it up a notch, and that twist is removed completely. And so, what you thought, like the twist of certain characters doesn't twist, and so they just become even more kind of in the background. And then, like the overall motivation is just kind of glossed over in lieu of just like almost again like Children of the Corn like cult like reasonings behind like a reverse Children of the Corn, I guess I could say, mild spoilers if you know you know. Um, but again, as a slasher film, it's fun. it does rely a lot on the tropes of like kids today, they don't know nothing. We can't dial 911 because we don't know what a rotary phone is. I can't escape because I can't drive a shift stick. It's just kind of like maybe not. I don't. I can't say that I know how to drive a stick. Um, but you could learn. You could fake it till you make it. I feel like you can. You may destroy the vehicle you're using, but instead of just being like talking out loud to be like, oh, why didn't I let my dad teach me? Um, but the kills in it are good. The villain is almost too over the top. Even for a book called Clown on the Cornfield, the movie called Clown on the Cornfield, the villain's a little too almost over the top. Um, again, mostly because of the change of motivation, so that instead it becomes much more of a again cult like um, stuff as opposed to what is actually the motivation of the story. Uh, it does kind of set up the sequel. Not really because where I'm at, but in a way. Um, I will say that the acting, the young woman who plays Quinn, does very well. Even though they write her much more as just your average angsty 17-year-old girl than she is. I really do like they kind of give again the motivation for them moving to where they're moving is taken away in the movie, and so like the tone of the relationship with her dad is very much changed, and he's made more kind of aloof in the beginning. I love Will Sasso, I do. It's just that this particular character that he plays, and while he plays it in the movie and he works in the movie well, the character he plays should be much more intimidating than it is as Will Sasso. And the other kids are fine. They're all really kind of forgettable. Um, and then we get to the big crux of the thing is the changing of the costume, the friendo costume. Because to me, what's so terrifying about uh the costume in the story is, they're all these old vintage like costumes. It's the hard plastic mask with the rubber band, holding it onto your head, and like these old like gross looking like slip on outfits. And in this movie, it goes for a more like we're all wearing like the newest, like what's gonna sell at like Spirit of Halloween, like what's Trick or Treat Studios putting out next year. It's gonna look this. That's why we made the mask look like this, because we want to make trick or like collector versions of it. So that is over. They make them overly complex for a mass production that as you need. Um, but yeah, all in all, like I said, if I had gone into this having not read the book, I think I would have been like, oh, what a fun kind of young, a new slasher film. Um, that was kind of fun and dumb, and that's great. And it is, and I recommend it on that level. I just think that as somebody who went into the book expecting that, got a lot more out of it, only to then see the big screen adaptation kind of like turn the settings back down to dumb, uh, is is disappointing. Even I will say that there's a thing that happens at the end between characters that honestly on the road the movie was going, I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd have just changed. And I'd have been really mad because like you don't get to do that, but it goes for it. Um, full hog, and I'm glad that it does. I would like to think that's not why it didn't play here where I am, but this is Western Oklahoma, and if you know, you know. So, but I'm really glad they went for it. I thought it was great, and I will be curious if they try to adapt, if this does well enough to adapt the other two books. Like I said, I'm about halfway through the second novel, and it is it's a lot of fun. It definitely has. You feel like it's gonna be that kind of go the Scream 2 route, but then starts adding in other layers on top of it, so that it does make it a lot more complex. And I've already got the third book queued up to read after. So again, if you have not read the novel and are going into this movie blind, absolutely check it out because it is a fun kind of just popcorn slasher film with some fun twists. Uh, but if you are a real fan of the book series, um, personally I would say temper your expectations because I feel like it kind of dials back some of the complexity of the novel. But otherwise, an overall good time. So I do recommend seeing Clown in a Cornfield. Now, next week, we are diving into Franchise City because we are finally getting the sixth, and I don't know if it'll be the final installment with the passing of the kind of thread of these movies, but it's supposed to be a rebirth of this franchise. Next week we are talking about Final Destination Bloodlines. So make sure don't drive behind log trucks, don't basically don't do anything outside or inside your house. Basically just sit where you are. You can know what you can do to stay safe. Go watch our old reviews. It's the safest thing you can do. And remember to subscribe. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.